It's taken over a year and a half to establish and renovate, but the Youth Futures home in St. George is finally ready for intake.
We are coming through the front door of an open youth shelter, and it's so exciting.
Located at 340 East Tabernacle, the shelter for youth ages 12 to 17 will hopefully fill a critical void for those in need.
These kids aren't kids that are in trouble. They're not troubled kids. They're kids that are in really tough circumstances.
In Washington County, there are an estimated 67 homeless, unaccompanied youth that have been identified through the school system. Causes could be family problems, financial crisis, or runaways. The Youth Futures home wants to provide a safe place, 24 hours a day, where these kids can get their lives back on track and feel welcome.
And about 60% of the kids that we see do go back home. We want them to be here temporary, though. This is not a long-term facility. This is not a place where this is not a placement. This is not a place where they stay long-term. Our goal is to get them in, get them taken care of, and get them out as quickly as possible.
The second of 2 homes in the state, Youth Futures can handle up to 16 youth at any given time. Mitchell gave a quick tour of the shelter to show what's provided.
So when kids first come into shelter, everyone goes through an intake process. We have about a 10-page intake packet. Every kid that comes into shelter is searched. So we search everything that they have, and then everyone takes a shower. So they get a new set of clothing, a t-shirt and pajama pants, and their basic necessities, a towel. Everyone takes a shower, and then everything they own goes into a hot box. It's heated up for an hour, and then they can have their stuff back.
Medications are also locked up during their stay for staff to distribute according to their prescriptions.
In this area, you can see the kitchen off this way. We have laundry facilities here. Kids will do their own bedding and their own laundry. And then we have a food pantry here. So we'll have food support from the food bank and the Bishop's Storehouse, and then community donations that come in. This pantry here is what we call the kids pantry. This is where kids can have access to some snacks.
While the youth won't be able to cook their own meals, they will be taught basic cooking skills along the way.
So we'll have people come in and teach kids how to cook. That's the only time the kids are actually allowed in the kitchen. So this is the dining room space here. We have seating for 20, and then behind the dining room space you'll see a computer lab for the kids. Those are all computers for the kids.
Youth who come here will not only be provided with food, but a place to sleep. There are 3 bedrooms equipped with bunk beds and corresponding dressers.
The top drawer will lock so that they can have a space to lock up their things.
Because this is a safe place, there are also rules that must be followed.
There's no door on any of the bedrooms because they're not allowed to shut their door. So we just have taken the doors off, and then we don't even have to worry about whether they try to shut the door or not.
The rooms and bathrooms can accommodate both genders. However, there is separation.
So our license requires us to separate by gender. So every night we have a different dynamic of kids. Tonight we might have 4 girls. Tomorrow night we might have 5 girls. We're going to have to move the girls into the big room, boys into the smaller room. So we play Tetris every night.
Each youth will also receive essentials for surviving on their own. The blankets and pillows on their beds will be theirs once they leave.
All donated linens from the community. Some are handmade quilts, sheets, pillows, pillowcases, and we need to keep this stocked because we go through a lot of linens.
Basic needs like clothes and toiletries are also available for them to take from the on-campus thrift store.
This is where we stock all the stuff that the kids need. A lot of kids come in with only a backpack. They don't have any clothing or hygiene items. They basically need everything. So we stock everything that they could possibly need. And we're always in need of this stuff because we go through it pretty quickly.
The program manager oversees the staff of 7 and is looking forward to helping the youth.
To keep the shelter running smoothly, to make sure that the staff is trained and prepared to meet the needs of all of the kids who come through our doors.
Youth will be counseled and supported during their stay, and they must go to school.
They're going to tell us where they're going, when they're going to be back, who they're going with. And then they have to check back in when they come back in. So
the entire facility is monitored with video cameras. There are secure locks and combinations used to several areas of the home. Smoke and fire alarms and sprinkler systems were installed, and alarms go off if a door is breached. Scott Catuccio is in charge of maintaining the shelter. As co-founder, he is dedicated to making a difference in youth's lives, which is something he never had.
There's a lot of people out there who will take advantage of someone who's homeless on day one. And we strive to prevent a kid from being actually on the street on the first day that they're homeless.
An estimated 5,000 youth spend at least one night a year in unsafe circumstances in Utah. Homeless youth are at higher risk for substance abuse, exploitation, or even human trafficking.
If you need help with what's going on with your family, if you need food, if you need guidance, you don't have to be homeless to come in and get help.
Supporters of this new shelter are hoping to help these youth in Washington County so they may grow up to live a satisfying and self-sustaining life, becoming contributors to the community.
We're going to look at every aspect of their life, from job, education, housing, therapy needs, life skills. We're going to take each piece of that and we're going to assess each kid individually. They're going to help us determine what their plan is, so they have some input on what they want for their life. And then we're going to help them work through what they need to be stable.
In Washington County, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.